Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. You don't know how many times I go to say the Sky RPG because that's the video I did for 2 years, but I've not cocked it up yet, but I will one day. So today we are going to be talking about probably one of the most difficult and challenging places in this entire game, and that is going to be within global operations. You have this second place that opens up called the Inverse World, okay? So as you can see, I've actually done pretty well in the Inverse World, despite the fact that it is very difficult, okay? It is extremely difficult. Now you want to do this because this will give you rewards that will literally make content easier for you to beat, okay? So I'm just going to use the first one as an example. You can see here that if we go up to the top, bam, 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 there comes a point where, not on this one, on this one, there we go. You unlock new fighting souls, okay? So these fighting souls are vital to helping you progress in the game, okay? Some are better than others, and you want them. Plain and simple, you want them. Not only do you get these fighting souls, you also get lots of purple tokens, you get little shards at the top. These shards help you level up groups of your characters more with kind of bonus substats that you can use in this section of the game here, which is your fighting heart. It allows you to level up these things, okay? So going back into the global operations, what is it that makes the Inverse World so difficult to beat, okay? Now I'm going to do this on video and I'm going to give you guys some tips about what will hopefully help you clear these stages, because to be honest, it seems more daunting than it can be at times, okay? So before I go in and do my stage, which is this one up here, I'm going to talk to you about the way I think you should tackle this, okay? So if we use this one as an example, okay, you can see that at level 16 you unlock this fighting soul, okay? That should be your first target. Don't try and go way beyond that, right? For now, the first thing you should do is just aim to do enough to get the fighting souls that a stage offers, okay? How you do that is by turning on these handicaps, that's what we're going to call them, okay? So the ones I tend to go with is, if we look at this here, first time a friendly fighter unleashes a combo free, the enemy gets a shield equal to 30% of their max HP for 20 seconds. One like that, it's pretty easy to deal with. I mean, it might seem difficult, but you find that it's not. I'll explain a bit more about why it's not when we go in and look at a stage, okay? The other ones I tend to go for is this. Enemies gain 3% attack and 3% defense every 3 seconds from the start of battle. Again, that can sound quite daunting, but depending on how you're set up, chances are you're probably set up with a team that is going to be dishing out lots of AoEs, lots of damage. So when you kill one enemy, you find that you'll end up killing quite a few enemies around about the same time, okay? Remember that, because that kind of ties into some of the other choices that you should make while doing this, okay? This one, do I go with this one? I don't always go with this one. I mean, with the harder stages, I have to go with this one when I'm trying to push above 15. But I think early on, I don't think that was one of the ones that I selected. I never select this, right? I never ever select this, okay? Reflect damage is just going to be difficult to deal with because you don't want to be taking more damage, like pure damage, than you have to. So especially with you dealing a lot of damage in this, you don't want to be reflecting it upon yourself, or you will be finding it pretty difficult to deal with. So I tend to not go with that. I definitely do not go with that. Just do not choose that. Like, do not ever give them a reason to kill one of your characters. You do not want to do that, okay? Damage reduction for 30% isn't too difficult to deal with. It is something that it's not really going to affect your survivability as much. So that is the type of thing that I would normally switch on to get up to number 15. Increased, I wouldn't put those two in combination with each other, so choose one or the other, okay? Personally, I would rather go with damage reduction for the enemy than the enemy dealing me more damage, okay? Again, when you try and push on a bit further, you might have to switch something like that on. Increase enemies' HP by 50%, 100%, take that. Again, it might seem difficult, but compared to some of the other things that you can switch on, this is definitely the way to go. Turn that on, okay? Again, if you've got a bit of a speed clearing team, that could be perfect. But again, it really just depends on what you've got in your box. I tend to like picking that, right? And if you did this exact combo, that would give you the memory, plus it would also give you 2 additional purple shards, okay? Now, there is some easier ones that you could choose, like, here you go, during battle, damage taken by friendly Thunder faction fighters increases by 50%. If you've got, this is a bit of a cheat code, right? If you've got Inferno, Master, or if you happen to have bought Sakura, then you can literally take all of these and turn them up to full. Because if you're going to run a team that has none of those in your team, then these are basically free gets. They're not going to inflict anything on you because you are not going to be using those skills, okay, or those characters. And you basically are going to get those 6 points for free, right? Bear that in mind, right? Because if you've got Bison, if you've got Jury, if you've got Rose, whatever you've got, if you're not using those traits, absolutely free. It costs you nothing, you're not going to be penalised, and they are essentially free points. So always check to see if there is something that is trait specific, and if you know you're not going to use those traits, it's absolutely free points for you, so you should totally do it. So again, taking these off, that would be enough for us to unlock that fighting soul. Okay, so that's how I would start off. I would do that. I would repeat that process. Didn't mean to come out there. I would repeat that process for each of them. This is what I did as well. I didn't immediately get these to 33, okay? Do the same thing here. Pick up another fighting soul that you might want to use. And then what happens is, when you move on further, you kind of get the same thing, except it's a bit different. From here, you start to level up your fighting souls, okay? So this will allow you to make the fighting souls that you've already unlocked along the way that much stronger, okay? And that is going to help you eke out more and more victories along the way in this very challenging mode, okay? Now, there is a couple of things that you can do while you're playing that makes things a little bit easier. However, I'm not going to lie to you, this is tough, right? Because look at this, for example. To get this stage, I have to score 32 in this stage. And for me to score 32, which I've been quite close to be honest, it's quite difficult. I've got to really handicap myself, okay? So I'm going to show you the type of things that I need to switch on to get that score, and what I would avoid, right? So for me, I would choose, I wouldn't choose that. I would choose that, believe it or not. I would choose that. So 100% HP when I kill an enemy, that's something that I'm going to choose. Point and anchor positions swap during battle, so the character at the back line moves to the front line, the character at the front line moves to the back line, okay? Again, pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. Freezing for the first 10 seconds at the start of battle. This is not as bad as it sounds, and that is because, I don't know what it is, there seems to be this very slow transition period at the start of battles where the clock ticks down and nothing really happens. So it's not too bad, right? It can be difficult, but it's not too bad, right? So we're going to take that one. The first time a friendly fighter unleashes a combo free, the enemy gains a non-dispellable shield equal to 30% of the max HP. We'll take that, but I'm going to push it up to 50. Now again, I might get absolutely destroyed trying this, but I'm going to do a couple of stages on this video to show you. After that, things get a bit more tricky, okay? So enemy auto gauge accumulation rate is increased by 100. We're going to go with that, right? Because remember, I'm trying to get up to 32 here. We've also got increase all enemy fighters HP by 50%. I'm also going to take that. We've got, no, we're not taking that. We're not taking additional damage. I try and avoid additional damage as much as possible, okay? Enemy flame factions crit rate increases by 30. I'm hesitant to not take that. I won't take that, right? Go with this one. Thunder rate factions gain 50% parry rate. We'll take that. Enemy wind faction fighters gain 30% dodge. We'll take that. Again, you might think, why are you taking things like that? That seems rather difficult. So, what have we got so far? Bum, 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 bum. When an enemy fighter's knocked out. I might have to take that. When deploying multiple fighters from the same faction, all fighters from that faction lose 40%. Easy, take that, because I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, I am going to like purposely avoid putting out multiple factions from the same, multiple people from the same faction. I'll show you the build I'm going with in a minute, right? Again, multiple factions, it's a free get, I'm going to take it. This one is at multiple factions, yep, free get, I'm going to take it. Multiple factions, it's a free get, I'm going to take it. Same. So those were all sort of a free in essence, because I'm not going to be deploying people from the same faction. Now, this one I don't like, right? It's going to handicap me because I rely on heals from my EXs, okay? So this one is definitely going to handicap me, but I'm going to have to go with it because there's no other way for me to get 32 points, okay? So I'm going to jump in here just now and show you. Now, one thing that you should know, if you do not beat a level, so if you have basically built it up so that the enemy's quite tanky and you don't kill them, when the battle ends, if your characters are all still alive, you can just go straight back into that battle and do it again. They'll have less HP and you'll just be able to chip away at it. It might take you some time, but I've done this. I've literally had the same team who was stonewalling against a Honda team. They were slowly able to kill everyone behind Honda, but Honda wouldn't die. Once I'd killed the entire team, my whole team was still alive. All I did was take out one character, put in a more powerful bruiser type character, and we took out Honda. So just because you can't clear it on the first go, you can go back in with your same team if they haven't died, okay? Now again, this is going to be different for everyone. This right here is a cheat code though, right? It's an absolute cheat code. I'm going to remove you because you're not supposed to actually be on this team. So we'll remove you. We'll leave you there. We'll put you where you are. You can go back to there actually. That was the wrong thing I did. I meant to put Rose in. So you can see now I've got no duplicates on my team, right? I've got Thunder, I've got Master, I've got Legend, and I've got Inferno, okay? Now I appreciate that not everyone's going to have a Legend character, but we're going to get Blanca in about, what, a week and a bit. At that point, you could basically slot Blanca in where Sakura is currently, and you would fulfill the whole no two faction thing, or you could use Flame or Wind, whatever floats your boat kind of thing, right? So, show you kind of what happens here. It's going to be quite difficult. Obviously, I'm frozen at the start. We've already hit, what, 3 seconds left, and then they finally unleash a move. So, even though I'm frozen for the first 10 seconds, realistically, it's only 3 seconds because they're not doing anything, right? The first, what, 7 seconds of that 10 seconds is just standing there doing nothing. So, there's absolutely nothing going on that's actually bringing down my team, right? Which is why I think that some of these penalties aren't as bad as they sound, okay? They can be difficult, but they're not as bad as they sound. Now, I've just realised there that when I changed my team, it changed my combo, which is annoying, because that is not the combo I would have used. I would have used this combo. Yeah, that's the combo I would have used. Unfortunately, it's maybe going to have had an effect on if I now survive this round because of that, but this is going to be the last one I do anyway. So far I've been unable to beat this stage. I'm not like coming on here to say, oh my god, look at me, I'm going to clear this, because right now I don't think I can clear it to 32. Things like gear and stuff like that, Hunt is vital in this mode, okay? Some people might think that, oh, Hayzink, you're a whale, the only reason you're able to do this is because you've got like top gear. It's the last thing I'm going to show you. You don't need top gear, and this is why. So if I go into my fighter list, if I go to here, and I go through this list of fighters, I have no gear on these characters. However, you'll see they have got gear. The game in this mode automatically puts good gear onto your characters. Now obviously your own gear might be better, but you get gear. So it will take characters who are not necessarily equipped to take on these stages. It will make them more powerful, and you do have more of a chance than you actually think, okay? If you take advantage of things like lending your friends, so go into your friends list, take advantage of using their powerful characters, so borrow a Rose, borrow a Bison, borrow a Judy, whatever you need to do, borrow a Sakura, do that, take them into this stage, and it's going to help you clear the stage. What I would say is do not be put off by these challenges. These challenges seem more difficult than they are, but if you choose the right ones, you can definitely clear at least far enough to unlock the fighting soul. I think it's fighting soul. Fighting spirit's the other one, fighting soul. You get far enough to do that, and once you have that skill, you can then equip that skill to a fighter and give them more stats, give them more power, and that can be the incremental gain that helps you beat the stage. There is no secret sauce on how to clear it. It's patience, it's trial and error, but if you take these incremental steps, you will beat this mode. The challenges are not as difficult as they sound, but if, like me, you're going to be going in with a new team, make sure you fix your combo, right? Don't like forget to put your healer in, or you probably will die. You need to have a healer, right? Straight up, you need to heal. So if you get the option to turn off healing, there is one, reduce healing by 99%. Do not take that. Like, do not take that. It's a mistake to take that, okay? But you can get your way through here. You can get yourself lots of characters. It is totally worth doing. It is difficult, but it's fun. It's fun to try out these new things, find new combos, find new things that work for you. But I do honestly suggest you might not want to do it until you get to level SS, because you certainly need to have the fighting souls unlocked for characters for you to be able to actually go in and beat this. Anyway guys, I've been Hayzink. Hopefully you found some tips there that were useful to you. Like I say, do not be put off by these challenges. It might take you some time. You don't need to be a whale necessarily. You don't need to have top gear, but you do have to have a certain degree of strategy going into it to be able to beat this. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next Street Fighter Duel video. I almost said this guy again. Peace.